speaking last week, you were mentioning about the Royal Conservatory of Music, the books that were out. Is that, to crack that down, is that Canadian? Is that from England?
Yeah, it's Canadian. All right, so thanks for your interest in learning how to read music.
It'd be a miracle.
Well, I'm gonna start completely from absolute
miracles today.
zero. Yeah, so assuming that like no one knows anything. Okay, so if you do know this stuff, just kind of be patient, and it might just be good review. Yeah. So basically, like all of music notation is just trying to capture information or things or patterns that composers or musicians of the past figured out and want to pass down to next generations. Okay? And two of the biggest things in music that people need to find a way to notate are rhythm, basically how we move through time in music, and pitch, which is how high or low a note is, or a sound we make is. Okay, so the first week we're only going to be talking about rhythm, and rhythm may be even more fundamentally innate to human nature than pitch, or like the range and stuff like that of sounds, because it's maybe something to do with our heartbeats. It's something that everyone feels, like rhythm and a pulse. Yeah. So we're just going to do this quick exercise to begin with that has nothing to do with notation, but I just want you to feel something. Okay. So this is what we call a beat or a pulse. Okay. It's very regular. Can we just clap that? You can put your binder down. Okay. Now I want you to now go twice as fast as this pulse. So you have to be both listening and also clapping at the same time. So make sure get twice as fast.
Is there a way you can make that a little louder?
Can make it a louder.
Your volume's up all the way.
Yeah, it's up all the way. Ready? Okay, so let's start from the neutral, like the same as the pulse. Ready? And anytime. 1. Okay, now twice as fast. 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and. So twice as fast. So every time that clicks, you need to be doing 2, right? 1 and 1 and 1 and. Now do 3 times
Hey,
as
Marcus,
fast.
come and join us.
I'm waiting for the rest.
Oh, you gonna wait more? Okay.
Waiting
Waiting for the rest. Maybe
of-
your brothers and sisters?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Now 3 times as fast. Okay, so it should feel like a waltz or something. 1 and 1 and 1 and go. Good. Okay, now I want you to do twice as slow as this pulse now, okay? So it's big beats. Ready? And don't anticipate. Back to the original. Twice as fast. 1 and 1 and 1 and 1. Twice as slow as the beat. Oh yeah, we have to gotta coordinate which one. And good. Okay, so what we were just doing, okay, changing the speed of our clapping from twice as fast or twice as slow, is basically what we are doing with what we're learning today, the notation. Okay.
We have some new people joining.
Oh wow!
us.
Hi.
Hey, come on in.
Welcome. We just started. All right. Why don't you take some binders You might have to share, but that's okay. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah, so take a seat and grab a chair if you need more chairs. Maybe we can lend this chair to
You wanna move our chairs out?
or maybe Karen, yeah, so they're all, you
How
know.
about I'm tall, I'll sit towards the back.
Okay,
so
sure,
you can
yeah.
control me.
Okay, yeah,
You know, maybe I'll move back.
all right.
So you guys can sit up in the front? You wanna sit up in the front? Go sit up in the front. There you go.
Cool.
And we'll give you a book.
All right, so we were talking about music notation and what is it used for, okay? And so this week we're talking about how we can represent rhythm with these symbols and things, okay? So, pencils, thanks.
Yep.
Yeah. So, the notation, the symbol that tells us that we need to make a sound instead of being silent is a note. Okay? So notes all have a head. Okay? And they also have a kind of body which we call a stem. Okay? And then some notes have a flag or like a beam. And all of these give us information about how long that note is. Okay, so today we're only talking about rhythm. Okay, so some notes also can be colored in or filled in or black. Okay, and some are not. Okay, so so for this, we were just doing this little exercise where we felt this pulse. Okay, or a regularly repeating beat. Okay, in our modern music system of notation, we use this filled-in note with a stem on it as our beat, basically, our common pulse. Okay, and this thing is called a quarter note. Okay, and what is twice as large as a quarter? If you have a pie, a half is twice as large as a quarter. And what is twice as small as a quarter? An eighth. Good. So later we will see also different notes that are called half notes and eighth notes. Okay. So yeah. So the difference between the notation of a quarter note and a half note is that the half note is not filled in; it's open. Okay. So this is a half note. Okay. And a half note is twice as long as a quarter. So if you see two quarters, it will take the same amount of time to sing or to play those two quarter notes as a half note. Okay, so we're going to actually just go right ahead and sight read some music. Okay, so here is our pulse again. Okay, so here this little bell indicates the duration of a quarter note. Okay, so and remember, half notes are twice as long as quarter notes. Okay, so let's read that first line of music there. Okay, so we're gonna clap. Let's all just make sure we're clapping the quarter note together. Don't read that yet. Okay, good. And you can put your binders down so your hand's free and everything. So this is just a page from the binder. Okay, so now that we're all feeling the quarter, okay, let's read that first line. Okay, ready? And 2 off. Good. Yeah, and that's it. Great. Okay, so most people got that already. Now there's this little these lines, these vertical lines that you see. Okay, and those are a way for composers that composers use to organize these beats. So we can start to group these individual pulses into units. And humans, we like to count 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's very easy on one hand to do that, okay? And so most pieces are written with these groups in mind. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. And these lines are indications of when the counting goes back to 1 again. Okay, and so, but how do we tell, what is the group size? Yeah, that repeats over and over. And so this thing here, oh, is someone trying to get in?
She's lacking.
Oh, I see. This number here, I don't know if everyone can see it. There's always a set of numbers at the beginning of every line of music. That's called the time signature. Okay, time signature. Okay, and it tells us something very important. Okay, the top line, the top number especially, tells you how many beats there are until it goes back to 1 again. So if there's 2 at the top, it means you are always counting 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. If there's 3 at the top, it goes 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay? If it's 4, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? And the bottom number tells you what kind of note gets that pulse, right? And so I just said at the beginning that the quarter note often is the most common note that receives that constant beat. Okay, so the 4 represents the quarter. So if you've done fractions before, 1/4 is a quarter. So that's an easy way you can use to remember that the 4 on the bottom means that the quarter note, this filled-in note, gets the pulse. Okay. So what would be the number under here, the lower number, if a half note gets the fundamental pulse?
4/4?
So if the quarter note is indicated by a 4 on the bottom, what would a half note be? What would we write on the bottom note here if a half note gets this fundamental pulse? 2, okay? Because that's short form for half, right? What about an eighth note? Hint, 8, exactly. Okay, so you would have an 8 at the bottom. Okay, and so the top number again indicates what again?
How many beats in a measure?
How many beats in a measure, or basically how many numbers you count until you go back to 1 again. Okay. So remember, we're trying to group the beats because it's not all music doesn't go 1 1 1 1 1. It goes 1 2 1 2 or 1 2 3 1 2 3. Okay. So let's actually do the first one again, first line. Okay, and let's count the measures, the beats in every measure now. Okay, so it's actually got it written out for you. It's very easy. So let's just count the numbers out loud as we're clapping. Okay, ready and 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2, and that's it. Yep, good. Let's do the second line, which is now 3 beats, 3 quarter notes in every measure or bar, we call it. Okay, separated by the vertical lines. Ready and 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Good. Okay, so people are rushing slightly, but that's great. Okay, the third line is now 4 beats in every measure. Okay, so 1 2 3 4 1 goes back. Ready and 1 2 3 4. Oh, and now we've got a new symbol. Okay, so this little dot here. Yeah, we didn't explain that yet. Okay, sometimes you will see a dot next to a note. Okay, so it means it's longer. Okay, it's an additional unit of length. Okay, so that note, so it's called a dotted half note. Okay, is equal to the value of the original note plus half of its value. Okay, so what is half of a half note? Quarter note. Okay, so and now how many quarter notes does this equal?
3.
Smart people here. Okay, 3/4. Okay, good. Okay, and you'll see here, it's equal to 3 counts. Okay. All right, here we go. Third line. Ready and 2, and counting out loud. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. Okay, we did really well. All right. So now we're going to, speed things up. Okay, we kind of cut the quarter note, or we made it twice as long, but now we're going to make it twice as fast. Okay, so the notation for that, a note that is twice as fast as a quarter note, is an eighth note, and it's got this flag on it. Okay, and sometimes if you have multiple eighth notes, you can group them with what's called a beam. Yeah, this is a flag. Okay, and you can group like dozens of eighth notes together if you want. Okay, if the music calls for it. Okay, so but they're all the same value of time. They're twice as fast as a quarter note. Okay, so how many? So for 2 quarter notes, how many eighth notes does that equal in time? Good. All right. So you're following this very, very well. So we're going to go to another page that has some eighth notes now. Okay. So let's look at the first line. Okay. It's in 2/4 time signature again, so that means there's 2 beats in every measure. Okay, but we need a new syllable in order to subdivide. So to say that something is like twice as fast, we use and. Okay, so before we were just saying 1, 2, 1, 2, but now to specify that we have things that are moving faster than that, it's 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. Okay, so let's go back to our little clicky thing here. Okay, so let's clap. Okay, and let's say eighth notes now, and clap eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and good. Okay, so now that we've got that feeling, okay, let's read the first line. Ready and 1 and 2, 1, 2 and 1 and 2 and 1. 2. Okay, I'm gonna slow it down just slightly. Okay. Okay, so make sure you've got the 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. And ready? And 1 and 2. 1, 2 and 1 and 2 and 1, 2. Yeah, good. So only clap when there is a note. And if there's a long note, you don't need to say the and as well. Okay. So yeah, just counting the big beats. And if you need to say the and, there's like a subdivision. Yeah, you can say that. Okay, let's try the second line. Ready? Ready? And this is in 3/4, so there's 3 beats. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Ready? And 1, 2, and 3. 1 and 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and I'm doing this to like indicate time for a longer note. Yeah, good. Let's do 4. Okay, this is hands-free now. There's no more helps for you. Okay, so you have to remember the counting. And now, how many beats are in a measure? In line 4, 2 beats in a measure. Okay, ready? And 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, and 2, 1, 2. Good. Okay, take your binder out and turn to page 12. And you should have a pencil. You'll see a series of blank lines. Yes? this page. Okay? So I am going to clap something for you, and I want you to write it out, what you hear. Okay? So I'm going to tell you that this is in 4/4 time. So you can, at the beginning of the line of music, it's an empty line. You can write 4/4. Okay? Okay, and this is going to be the pulse of a quarter note. Okay, and I'm going to clap something, a pattern in 4/4. Ready? I'm going to do it a couple times. Okay, ready, and 1. Okay, that's it. Okay, it's only 2 measures, so we only need to use half of the line. Okay, so start writing down what you hear, okay, in rhythm. Okay, I'm going to do it one more time from the beginning. Ready, and. Okay, I'm going to do it a third time. Ready, and. Okay, give you a couple more seconds to write down what you heard, and I'm going to do it one last time. Ready, and. Okay, so how many people think they got it? Okay, almost.
We had to put the notes in?
Yes.
This is like math class.
Yeah, it's oral skills actually. Okay, so here is the solution. Okay, this is a
Like,
bar.
The rhythm music.
Okay. Did yours look something like this? Close? Yeah? All right. We got some smarties here. All right. Okay, let's all clap that now. Ready? Okay, so here we go. Ready? And say it out loud. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. Yeah, nothing on 4, right? 1, 2, and 3, 4. You could say 4, but don't clap. Yeah. Good. All right. So here's another one. Okay, this is in 3/4 time. So you can write 3/4 at the beginning of your line of music. Okay? Here we go. Hint, it starts off quick. Okay? Ready, and. Okay, it's 3 measures long. I should have told you that at the beginning, but okay. Here it is from the beginning one more time. Okay, so write down your notes that you hear. Ready, and. Okay, give you a few seconds to write down what you heard. And I'm going to do it a couple more times. Okay. Ready, and up. Okay, couple seconds. Okay, and one last time. Just check your work, maybe. 2, 3. Okay. Hopefully you got something like this. Did people get that?
I put 3 together instead of 2.
Hmm. What do you mean?
Instead of putting the 2 together, I actually had 3. So I did
Oh,
something
okay.
else. Yeah.
Well, it's close though. Okay. So this is 1 and 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's all clap that together. Here's our pulse again. Ready, and 1 and 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Good. I'm going to speed it up and we're going to do the exact same thing. But this is a little quicker now. Quite a lot quicker. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Ready, and 1 and 2, 3, 1 and 3, 1. Okay, maybe that was a little too fast. Okay, let's go back down here. You ready? 2, 3. 1 and 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, good. Okay, so now let's give me 1 second here. We haven't talked about how do we represent silence? Okay, we're not singing all the time, and certainly in an orchestra, you know, people are not every instrument is playing all the time. Okay, so we have a different way of representing silence instead of notes or sound. Notes tell you need to make sound, but rests tell you that you need to be quiet for a moment of time. Okay, so let's go back to our quarter note here. Okay, so the corresponding rest that is the same amount of time as a quarter is this funny little figure. It's kind of like a backward 3. Okay, you can practice writing it somewhere, maybe just like on a piece of paper, like one of your pieces of paper. Okay, it's down and then lightning. Down, left. It's 4 strokes, yeah. And the last is like a loopy C thing, okay? So you can practice just writing that, okay?
Like a Z
Hmm?
Like a Z and then a C.
A Z. That's an even better way to think of it. Yes, a Z. Okay, and then a C. I've never even thought of that. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Okay, so this is called a quarter rest. Okay, and half note. Okay, equals a half rest, which is the same amount of time as a half note, but means be quiet for that time. Is this rectangle sitting on a line? Yeah, it's a hat. Exactly. Yes. Yeah. See, I'm too old. I don't think of these things anymore. It's like, yeah. Okay, and then the 8th rest. Okay, it looks like this. I'm not sure what is that? Like a 7 with a little dot on it. Okay.
That's a 7.
But you should make it a curvy 7. Okay, with a little dot on it. Okay. So this is 8th rest, quarter, half. Okay, so let's go and look at some music that has these rests in it. Now we're gonna get the mouse. Okay, so sorry if it's a little small. Maybe I can, yeah, I don't know how we can increase the size exactly. But, oh, there we go. It's a little bigger. Okay, we're gonna look at that first line of music. Okay, now there are rests there. Okay, it means silence for those beats. Okay, and the traditional thing we do with our hands when there's a rest is to do this. So instead of clapping or keeping them together, we open palm. Okay, so let's get our ticker going here. Okay, and let's look at that first line. Ready, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 let's do it again. I'm going to slow it down just slightly so more people can get this. Okay, first line one more time. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's start again and not rush. Maybe I'm rushing too. Yeah, ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. All right. Okay, let's do the second line. Okay, so these are all eighth values. It's rest, note, rest, note, rest. But here it switches, right? There's you're clapping on the ands at the second bar. Okay. So here we go. Ready and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and okay, one more time. Okay, and remember you're only clapping when there is a note. You're doing this when there's a rest. Okay, ready and I'm sorry. Before we start, say it out loud as well.
Count it.
Count out loud. Yep. Ready and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and yeah. One more time. I'm gonna slow it down even more so that I know this is like suddenly it's twice as fast. Everything, all the events are twice as fast. Yeah. 1. Okay. So let's count one measure of numbers. Ready and before we start 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and good. Okay, so most of the people got that, yeah? All right, let's do the third line. Okay, I'm gonna speed it up again to a more, because this is less busy. We just have halves and quarters now. Okay, 3, ready, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Now, who wants to do a solo for number 4? Clapping. I actually don't know many of your names. Someone.
We have everybody go around and say their name.
Yeah. How about from the back maybe?
I'm Ariel.
Ariel.
Dave.
Dave.
Karen.
Amy. Jonathan. Yeah. Denise.
Yeah.
Treza.
Tressa. Treza.
Marcus.
Marcus.
Caitlin.
Caitlin. Hi everybody. Yeah. All right. So anyone want to do 4? Why don't we have Treza do it? All right. Volunteer. Okay. Ready? Anytime you're ready. Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Perfect. Very, 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 very. 95%. Yeah. Just don't clap on 4. Right? It's a long note. Yeah. Excellent. Okay. Someone want to do 5? Maybe. Why don't we try having Karen do that? Number 5. Okay. Excellent. Yeah. Okay, how about 7? Someone want to volunteer 7? Doing oopsies. Yeah. Number 7. Marcus, you can try.
Yeah, come on, Marcus. Do it, Marcus. Go do it.
Okay. Count out loud. Yeah. Try to keep with the time there.
1 and 2
it's a long half note there. Two counts, two dings there.
1, 3. Oh boy, I am.
Yeah, I'll do it with you. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Okay. That's everyone. Do number 7. Ready? 2. Ready? Go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, there should be no clap on 4, right? That's a rest. It's a quarter rest, right? Ready? 7 again. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and good. All right. Excellent. Okay. So, okay. There's one more symbol that we need to introduce. Okay. And there's another way, basically, you can write the amount of time of a half note. Okay? There's actually multiple ways. Okay? You can also write a half note as 2 quarter notes, but connected with this line called a tie. Okay?
Looks
So
like a happy face.
that's right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's right. Yep. And a tie. Oh yeah. Sometimes you'll also find that stems go down.
Yeah.
That's not exactly a sad face, but yeah. The tie can be above or below the note. Okay. The note head. Okay. But what a tie means is that you add up all the rhythmic values of the notes that the tie is connected to. Okay. And so 1 + 1 = 2 here, all right? And you can tie all sorts of notes together. You could tie 4/8 notes. Actually, well, I lied slightly, okay? If you wanted to tie 4/8 notes, ties always go between 2 notes, okay? They're always connecting 2 notes only, okay? And but that means that all of these notes, you only play the first one or resound the first one, and the rest are just like you're adding value. Okay, so these ties, yeah, are useful in allowing composers more freedom in writing different note values. Okay, so if you tied a quarter note to a half note, how many beats would this full, so this becomes like 1 note basically, okay? How long would that be?
3.
3 quarters. Or you could write that equivalently as a dotted half, which is also 3 quarters, okay? So it's kind of the same thing. It's like synonyms in language, okay? Like multiple words mean the same thing, but multiple symbols mean the same thing in here, in music. So ties and dots, kind of very related, okay? So let's go to page 8 here, which has some funny symbols and dots and things, okay? So, yeah. Let me get the ticker going. All right. So when we have dots, we count the main note, the main beat number, and then put an and after it. Okay. So here we go. Here's the first line. Ready and 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. And good. Okay. Let's do that one more time. The exact same thing, and I'm just going to increase the tempo slightly. Ready, and 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and great. Okay, let's do number 4. Okay, and Ariel, you want to try number 4? No, don't worry. Just yeah, in 3. Okay. Good. All right. Very, very close. Okay. Let's all do number 4. And remember the beat. One of my piano teachers, actually, yeah, a piano teacher said the beat is inevitable, or is relentless. Okay. The beat keeps going even if you are figuring it out. Okay. So you gotta keep, on top of it. All right. Everyone on 4. Ready, and 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3, 1, and 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's do it one more time. Ready, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3, 1, and 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, very good. Let's look at 5 now. Okay, there's some rests. All right. Ready, and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3. Rest. 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Very, very, very good. Okay, so we didn't actually do any with ties. I wonder if there are exercises with ties. There's just that one line. Okay, let's do that one line. Okay, so here's number 3, line 3. Okay, 2, ready, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4. Very good. Okay, so now I think our last piece of notation for the day, okay, is something that's 4 times as fast as a quarter note. Okay, so if we have a quarter note, yep. Okay, this is 1/8 notes are twice as fast as a quarter note, but what is twice as fast as an 1/8 note is a 16th note. Okay, and yeah, it's 2 flags. 2 flags. Okay, so go to page 2 in your binder. Okay, and there's a beautiful little chart here of all the note values. Okay. Oh, and we didn't look at whole note, but I'll talk about that too, I suppose. Okay, but you'll see that there's some space next to this chart. Okay, the nice thing about this chart is that it vertically shows you how fast the notes are compared to other notes. Okay, so a whole note, it takes that amount of time. A whole note is actually 4 quarter notes. Okay, but yeah, it vertically aligns everything so that it's actually proportional in time. Okay, but a 16th note, yeah, you'll see that there are 4 16ths to every quarter. Okay, so I would like you to draw in that space next to.
Should I keep this?
Keep it, yeah. Okay. See you. Is it almost 2 o'clock?
Just about with my wife's here with groceries and
Okay.
God forbid the ice
Yeah.
cream should melt.
Great, great. All right, thanks, Dave. Yeah. I'd like you to fill in the rests on the right of the notes. Okay. So make a similar tree. Okay. With rests. Okay. So remember, here are the symbols for the rests, okay? But you're gonna make them so that they look proportional, like just like the same thing as the notes, okay? So by the way, the whole rest is the flipped upside down hat. Okay? It's a rectangle. Yeah, kind of a hole. Yeah, that's one way to think of it. There's a hole there for a whole note. Yeah, that's great. So the rectangle is hanging from the line. Okay. The way that I always remembered the difference between these two is that this one can hang because it's lighter and it's longer, so it can last longer hanging. Yeah, but this one kind of it's heavy and it sinks, so it I don't know, ish faster or something. Yeah. Okay, and remember this is the Z with a C quarter. Okay, and then the eighth is the curvy 7. Okay, and then this is a 16th rest. Okay, so it's kind of like these little curvy parts are corresponding to the flag. Yeah. Okay. So I'd like you to fill in the chart, the empty space there, with the equivalent rest chart. Okay. Give you a minute.